Here's the rosehips we picked yesterday. These are the big old Rosa rugosa. There are lots of those and they're easy to pick. Whereas we've got a couple of the wild rose there, dog rose. But there wasn't many of them. So we've got 200 grams. Got to top and tail them. Apparently there's 20 times more vitamin C in rosehips than in oranges. So there you go, that's why it's an old traditional recipe to make rosehip syrup for the winter. I've been looking at a couple of recipes. One says, same amount of rosehips to sugar. One says half the sugar or brown sugar. So I'm going to just wing it and have a go. Another thing you can do, to put them in the freezer, and that would soften them up. But they are actually just on the turn. Some of them are getting a bit soft there. So another thing why I've never made them before is that the seeds are irritant. There's like little hairs around the seeds inside, and that's what you use for itching powder. So you don't want your throat itching, do you? But we're going to have a go anyway. Follow the recipe and sieve it out. They're such beautiful things, it's a shame not to do something with it. It's like a tomato, isn't it, So first of all, you top and tail them. We'll do that. My girls? No, they're not for you. Nope, not for you. Shouldn't tease you like that, should I? I'm still a bit wary because as kids we used to squash them and rub them on your back, and I can still remember how horrible it was. It was itching for ages, so definitely don't want that to happen. So I'm just going to try a little bit, small amount, just to see. And also I wanted to make what's called Nordic soup. I've got a recipe from my Danish friend, which is more or less goes along the same lines, but they eat it as a dessert, hot with cream. So if this works out all right, I'll go back and get some more. I'm just chopping the tops off with some scissors, to be honest. Here's lost him. Give them a rinse and just left them there. So no creepy crawlies at him. Okay. There you can see most of the hairs are in the middle in a big lump. Like, let's see if I can get them out all at once. See, look. That's what irritates you. See it? Anyway, I'll leave them in there. See, some recipes say you chop them in half and you scoop out the seeds. So, we'll see. And others say, no, just leave them alone, because they're going to be through a muslin, so we'll get rid of all the hairs and seeds. See little beasties in there? They've still got hairs in there. Look at that colour, gorgeous. Anyway, so I'm going to boil a cup full of water. I think you need 2 cups of water at least, so and a cup of sugar, I've decided. A bit of brown sugar and a bit of white sugar. So I'm just going to boil up the water, and these want squishing, and I don't possess a food processor, so I have got one of these and mortar and pestle. But make sure you clean it out, because the last thing in here looks like it's nuts. So we'll squish them, which isn't quite pudding. I'm avoiding touching it. Right, so let's boil them up. Back up for a minute, and then we'll let simmer for 15 minutes. The vitamin C will go in the water, apparently, so we won't lose it, hopefully not too much, but heat does kill vitamin C. And that's what we're trying to preserve. There we go, and turn it down for a simmer. Right, as it's such a small amount, I've modified it to 10 minutes simmering, and I've switched it off, and I'm going to let it just steep for another 10 minutes or so while I get the equipment ready. You'll need a funnel, sugar, another thing of water, another cup of water, and a nice thin sieve, a jug, and for the second sieving, because you're going to go through twice, you need some muslin, really fine stuff like this. Okay, got to make sure those hairs come out. So I don't want to be eating any of them or drinking any of them. Yeah. And you need a little bottle. I've got that one. That'll do. And that one's sterilising. Pour in there and then just let it drip. So it's dripping. Not a lot in there. I'm not expecting much. That bottle's only 150, so that's a bottle already actually. Okay, another bottle. If you squash it through, it's going to go cloudy. Give a little bit of a squish, but so meanwhile, boil up another cupful of water and put all that back in and do it again. Meanwhile, that's dripped to 200 ml, so I'll pop that back in for the second extraction, I suppose is the word. Ooh, need another hand, I think that's a good plop. There you go, boil that back up for 10 minutes, turn it down to simmer for 10 minutes, and then steep it for 10 minutes, and then we'll see how we get from there. Sterilise it. Yeah, just put a bit of weight on it. Yeah, we've got 400 ml. That's good, isn't it? That's exactly the amount of sugar we put, water we put in. I did rinse it out a little bit. So the final step is to add the sugar after sieving it completely with muslin. And what I'm going to do as well is I've got a little bit of honey. So I'm not going to have so much sugar, I'm going to have a little bit. I've got a spoonful, a tablespoon of honey and a bit of lemon juice, and that'll be it. Bit of extra goodness, honey and lemon. Just a little squeeze. I'll set it now anyway. So if a pip goes in, a pip goes in. Okay, let's get the muslin. Right, final sieving through the sieve and through the muslin. Make sure we get rid of those hairs. Ooh, and a lemon pepper. And then we'll just melt the sugar. We might just have to warm it up a bit to melt the sugar. Just let it drip through again. Done. Not bad. So, make a syrup. Well, that brown sugar has definitely made it a funny colour. Never mind. That's the colour it should be. That syrup's dissolved, so we'll bottle it. Okay, what's it smell like, Isla?
Orange juice.
Smell that orange juice?
Orange juice.
You said melon, didn't you? Does it smell like now?
Orange.
Orange. Okay.
Orange.
Into the first bottle. Lucky. And the second bottle. By the way, I didn't use all the sugar, you see. Didn't want it too much. Oh, it's brown. Here we go. Go on then. You're going to try some? No?
Yeah.
Yeah? Not sure. It's different. What do you think? Sweet? Do you want to try some, Isla? Do you like it?
Sweet.
It is sweet, isn't it? Okay. Well, that's it. That's elder, oh not elder, I did that last time. Rosehip syrup with brown sugar. I think the brown sugar's taking over a bit much, to be honest. But anyway.
I want to add it.
Okay. We're done.
Oh, we're not having it.
So we've got about 400 ml. Definitely no brown sugar next time. It's just too heavy a taste. I suppose I could dry it into itching powder. That'd be interesting, wouldn't it?